This is Must Love Catholics with Katie Frank and Brian Barcaro. We're here live at the World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia, PA. And our guests are going to be talking about their marriage.
Oh, my goodness. It's time to reveal all, Jeff.
Yeah. So Brian's going to love this story.
How many years?
It's 35.
Yeah,
35
see, Brian, you'll
years.
appreciate this. I married her in 1980 because I didn't want to do the math the rest of my life. It's
great
worked
idea.
perfect, yeah. So,
No,
but I really have to tell you about the first time I ever saw her. I usually sing it to the song of One Enchanted Evening, but I'm going to spare you my singing today, okay? Yeah.
We've never had a singing guest on the host.
All right, I'll do it in the background. Ready? You start talking.
Okay.
Some enchanted
So once upon a time, it was a blizzard, snowy night in
you
Wisconsin.
may find
I knew
your
the next day that the
true
school
love.
teachers would not be out, but I did know where they would go because the V-plows would be out to plow snow the next day. So there I was, and I went to the famous place where
Bruiser's
teachers gathered,
Pub.
better known as Bruiser's Pub. And as I sat having a beer with a different girl, so lo and behold, there's a large glass window because this bar was in the basement of a bowling alley. It's kind of typical Wisconsin,
Right?
In the winter, go to the basement.
Yeah. So anyhow, down the steps comes these two gals, and I saw this one and went, oh my goodness.
You said she has a lovely heart. I can tell by looking at her.
No, I'm a boy.
No,
I'm a boy. The
no,
first thing you do is you
visual.
use your eyes. The second thing you do is you use your nose. How do they smell? And the third one is, if you have to, you listen.
But only if you have to.
Only if you have to.
Well, he did. He listened, and to be honest, he looked at me and I looked at him, and it was one of those Some Enchanted Evening moments. And honestly, he was there with someone else, and I saw him, and I thought to myself, here it is, a very small, little rural Wisconsin city that I had been in for years, and I thought, if this other woman can finally meet, she had told me, the love of her life in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, I could too. Little did I know that about a week later he would dump her and start dating me.
Oh, Jeff, how
Brutally and ruthlessly. There's still
you-
parts of me, Brian, that haven't disappeared yet. Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm sure you weren't intentionally brutal, but sometimes breakups are just hard. Right?
Yeah.
Well, no, let me tell you how it happened, because he started dating me with her. And I said, after 2 nights of talking with him, I said, you know what, Jeff, if you're going to date her and me, this is not going to work, because I don't do that. So you can, so you have to make up your mind. He got up off the couch, he walked out, he came back an hour later, and he said, that's done.
So you
Brian, it's why we've always gotten along. These are business decisions, right? Brutal business decisions. Yeah.
Hopefully my wife is not going to listen to this show. She's going to be like, so what business decision was I?
The best one you ever made, honey.
So how did you actually ask her out? I mean, we won't date you, but I mean, you have been married for 35 years. Like, how did actually someone ask someone out then?
Well, obviously we'd had the social event,
Right,
so there was a
right.
place, and of course the classic Wisconsin scenario in a bar.
Right.
And so we...
So Catholic couples can meet at a bar. That is a misnomer.
That is a misnomer.
That is a misnomer.
Yes.
So, and it was probably a week, maybe. Not even a week, a few days, because you were going home to your folks or
it
something.
was over
and,
Christmas,
Yeah, and I
and
knew
he
she was
called me.
gone. I waited till she got back. I'm not paying for a long distance call, Brian, for crying out loud, because back then you didn't have cell phones. I don't want to date myself or anything, but we didn't have cell phones back then. In Wisconsin, you
didn't tweet her or text her or Snapchat her?
I thought she was tweet, but I didn't.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and everybody out there that's listening is going, and she's got him? You betcha, people, for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so it's about, I knew she was back, and I called her up, and I said, so would you like to, go out?
And let me tell you where he took me. He had talked with a woman at work who was a good friend and said, I really like her. Where should we go on the first date? But I want it to be a safe thing. She said, well, come on over to our house. We got a new dog for Christmas. So we went over to their house, and that was our first date. So the message here is important. Don't go private right away. Have your friends and other people that look around you, that know you, to check out who you guys are with. And so that was it. And we dated like that for 2 weeks before we kind of went, I think we might want to just spend a little time alone. So
Away from the new dog.
Away from the new dog. Yes,
And all
you
the
got
puppies,
it.
yeah.
And all the puppies. Yep, that was it. Yeah.